Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard under the canopy this muggy, hot day, but thankfully there's a really good breeze going. And today I'm going to finish off the last of the andouille sausage, and I'm going to make us a garden vegetable pasta sauce. Now, I'll have the andouille sausage diced up. It'll have garlic in it. I have mushrooms. I have some onions, an array of wonderful peppers from the garden. I've got bell peppers, banana peppers, pepperoncini peppers, these little bitty adorable little purple bell peppers, and I pulled some fresh carrots. I have some squash to cut up. I have some fresh harvested basil from the garden. I've got to harvest some oregano, and I've got 2 cans of diced tomatoes in water only, and a big can of tomato sauce. They're starting to look a little rough, so it's time to make sure that those don't go to waste, and I'm going to make a big sauce with them. Well, it's time for me to get busy chopping, cutting, dicing, and slicing, and I will bring you back once everything is cut up and ready to go. Okay, welcome back. I am finally done dicing, chopping, slicing, cutting. In my pot right now, I have 5 pounds of cut up andouille sausage. I'm going to simmer it so it can get some color to it. I'll let that simmer for a little while. It's going to take a bit, so I'll bring you back as soon as it's done. Okay, now that that's cooked for a while, I'm going to put in 4 big tablespoons of minced garlic. I wish y'all were here. This smells absolutely amazing. And this is only the beginning. Alright, now that that's in there, I'm going to add all my onions and my peppers. And no, I don't worry about seeds. Now in the bell peppers, I do keep them to a minimum, but other than that, no. The seeds never killed me yet, so I'm still going. And I'll bring you back once these get cooked for a little bit. Okay, now that that's cooked down a little bit, I'm going to add, and I had forgot to harvest Malabar spinach. So I'm adding Malabar spinach in it, and this is the carrots and the cubed squash as well. Like I said, it's a garden vegetable spaghetti sauce. Drain some of the juice of the tomatoes in. Oh, that smells good. You don't want to take no chances at all of scorching anything. There we go. Now here I have fresh basil from the garden and fresh oregano from my herb garden. Now you can use as much as you want to. It's to taste. I prefer oregano over basil. I think it's because a lot of people have just burnt me out on basil. And you can use way too much basil. But season to taste. This is one way to get even more nutrients into your spaghetti sauces. Now, most people want to puree it up, and my thoughts on that is I'm not a baby anymore. I like chunky vegetables. I like to know what I'm eating. So, I'm not going to be pureeing this spaghetti sauce. I don't have any children around me, and nobody I know is a child. They can eat vegetables. I'm not going to puree it and hide the fact that there's vegetables in it. That's just my soapbox moment. Now my mushrooms, I'm going to wait to add after I put in my tomatoes and my tomato sauce, because mushrooms are notorious for soaking up all the moisture, and if you're not careful, that's when things can burn. And let me tell you, the Malabar spinach in it is amazing. Now, I haven't added any salt because I know for a fact the sausage has salt in it, and I wait to add salt to my jars when I go to can it. That way I know I have the specific amount of salt that's supposed to be in it. Oh, to have smell-o-vision. This is amazing. Okay, that's cooked down quite a bit. I'm going to add my tomatoes. And it's going to be 2 number 10 cans of diced tomatoes. I looked up, I caught these, they were clearancing them out. The only thing that's in these tomatoes are tomatoes and water. And a little bit of, no, I don't even think they had salt. But that's it. Just like tomatoes are supposed to be. Oh, and for those wondering, oh no, I do not put no sugar in my spaghetti sauce. You're eating tomatoes. They're supposed to be acidic. I cannot stand sweet tomatoes at all. And this is a number 10 can of tomato sauce. And I'm lucky it don't have any sugar in it either. I'm pretty picky about my tomatoes. I don't do a whole lot of sweet food because sugar is supposed to be reserved for desserts, coffee, and tea, in my opinion. And I see I'm going to have to add just a little water to this. And since I've got to add a little water, I'm just going to rinse out my tomato sauce can. And I'm careful about how much water I add because you can always add more water, but it's hard to take water out once it's been added. You want it thick, but not too thick, because if it's too thick, then it won't can right. Oh, that's looking pretty. I'm going to add some dried parsley, because parsley is extremely good for you, and it helps with digestion as well. That's why back in the day You used to get fresh parsley on your plate when you ate out. They don't do that no more. Oh, that's going to be some beautiful, healthy pasta sauce. Okay, let me get the mushrooms. Sorry, y'all, just completely blocked your view. I looked up and got this whole sorry, got my mouth full. Is it three? Yep. 3 pounds of sliced mushrooms for $2.50. Marked down. Now you can leave them in bigger pieces. I tend to break them, try to break as many up. Of course, they're going to shrink down. And you want to cut your fire down. If you have to be careful, it'll scorch if you're not careful. Anybody that's cooked tomatoes knows tomatoes are notorious for scorching. Uh-oh, I don't escape you. Now, of course, all the vegetables are going to cook down. They won't be as chunky as they are now. But this is going to be one amazing pasta sauce. And you always have to watch out. There's always going to be something that tries to escape. Of course, I'm outside cooking it, and it's a breezy day today. So you got to keep your eye on your flame. Make sure it doesn't blow out. And of course, I'll have all the ingredients that I used in the description box below. I'll have to go back through and rewatch my video because I just put things in a pot. I don't really measure most of the time. It might not be as meaty as people like, but there's meat in there. There's some meat juices. You'll be getting protein without a doubt. Alright, I'm going to let this cook for a while, and I'll bring you back once it's ready to get ready to can up. Alright, I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay, it's finally time to start canning up the pasta sauce. And what I've done in all the other 18 jars is I'm going to put half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. And because I'm always trying to make us healthy as possible. Now, if you don't have it, you don't have to add it. This is a half a teaspoon of chaga powder, chaga mushroom powder. That's just to add a little oomph of extra immunity. Now, what I'm going to be doing is filling it up just below this first little bead of thread here, because that'll be your 1-inch mark. Now, my jars are warm because, you know, it's kind of hard for them to be cold in 100-degree heat. And my pasta sauce has cooled down for a while. Trying to find somewhere for my bed. It has thickened up beautifully. Okay, you're going to need a ladle. Now I have my vinegar so I can wipe the rim. And I have my debubbler. And I have my funnel and my ladle. You want to make sure there's no bubbles, and you stir the salt and the chaga powder around. There's my paper towel. Because I don't want to lay my debubbler on my towel. And the next jar, you take the top off and put the funnel right in. Now my water in my pressure canner. Now it's warm. You just barely want to finger tight. And there we go. 1 jar. And like I said, I already have the salt and the chaga mushroom powder in all the other jars. And you want to stir your sauce before you get a ladle full. That way you can make sure you get sauce and vegetables at the same time. Just barely finger tight. Now another reason I'm doing it in pint jars is for long we're going to have to cut back on how much we eat. And a pint jar of sauce and a half a pound of spaghetti is plenty enough for 2 people to have for a dinner or a lunch. And into the canner it goes. And I will bring you back when I have the first layer of jars in the canner. Okay, I got my first layer of jars in, and with my pressure canner, I can stack pint jars. And, gotta make sure they all get under there and it's level. And I have my 2 inches of water that's required for my canner, and also a glug of vinegar so that the white film doesn't form on my jars. Alright, I'll bring you back as soon as I get done loading it. Okay, I've got my canner loaded. I've got 9 jars, 9 pints on the bottom, 10 on the top because I'm allowed to stack with my pressure canner. Now I've already oiled the rim, this little lip inside, with olive oil just like you're supposed to. I have my flame going underneath. And there's a little arrow here and a line. Let me cut my flame down. Houdini, move, son. Cut the flame down just a little bit. There we go. Back it. Okay, now they're all lined up. Now, you want to do on opposites. Yep, I gotta spin my canner around because I can't see my gauge. Okay, the arrows on both sides are lined up with the line. On opposite sides, you want to twist these until just barely snug and keep going around. Just barely snug. Just barely snug. And now you go back and you tighten them down. Alright, and I will bring you back when it starts spinning, because we're going to have fun. It's going to be dark, but you'll be able to see. I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay, everyone, I'm sorry, my phone died on me. What I done was I waited for it to come up to vent. Once you have a steady stream of steam, you will time it for 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, you'll put your weight on, and then you will wait till it comes up to what your pound weight should be. Mine is 10 pounds. Yours might be 15 or 5. You need to check with your local agricultural extension agency so you'll know what your weightage it should be. And mine is set on a dead 11. And I started my timer just a little while ago because it's been a steady dead 11 for a few minutes. And since these are pint jars, they're going to pressure can for 60 minutes. And I will bring you back as soon as the 60 minutes is over. Okay, it has been canning for 60 minutes. What you do is you cut your flame or your heat source completely off. You don't touch nothing. You leave that weight alone, and you'll let it naturally decompress down to 0. Depressurize down to 0, and once it hits 0, I will time it about 30-45 minutes before I open it up. And that batch of 19 pint jars has been canned, and I'll bring you back when I take them out. Okay, it is finally done. I'm going to take the weight off. Now, here comes the fun part of taking And as always, when you go to take your lid off, open it away from you. I know you can't see very good, and I'm sorry. Let's see. Well, it would help if I cut the light on. There we go. Now you can see better. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Bubbling away. And of course, you want to leave space in between your jars. So that they have plenty of room to cool off. Just absolutely beautiful. Alright, and I will bring you back as soon as I get them all completely out of the canner. And there we have 19 beautiful jars. Hot, bubbling jars of some amazing, could be pasta sauce for spaghetti. You could serve it over rice. There's so many things you could do with this. You could eat it like a soup if you wanted to. Just so many possibilities. Beautiful, healthy, and 3/4 of it come from my garden. No, not 3/4. About 95% come from my garden. Healthy, nutritional food. And that's 19 meals. Well, I'm going to leave it with this as my canner cools down. I hope you find this video encouraging and that it encourages you to also make your homemade pasta sauce as well. So the sky is the limit of what you can do with this sauce. Please click. Oh, also, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And also, before I forget, you need to let these set for 24 hours. And then once they've set for 24 hours, double check your seals, make sure everything is sealed. Then you wash them in warm soapy water and label them and put them on your shelves. Please click the like and subscribe button so you can come along on other adventures with me in canning and gardening and herbalism. So much to do, so much to prep, so much to get ready for. Please click the bell notification so you'll be notified when I upload another video. It's going to be a long night for me because I have more to do. Everybody take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed.